Don't forget to hit the subscription link and the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy the channel. Hi folks, Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Today we're going to talk about the Hifiman Ananda. I want to thank Mr. Olinad for sending these over for review. Mr. Olinad, I do greatly appreciate you loaning these to me. Been a pleasure having the Hifiman Ananda in the house. Mr. Olinad, you rock. So, the Hifiman Ananda. The headband on it is the new Hifiman headband. It's not the favorite of mine. I don't mind it, and I like it over certain aspects of the old school Hifiman headbands, but it's a little odd fit for this size of ear cup. It doesn't swivel or rotate, so it may limit what heads and ears it will fit, and it'll go really tall, but it won't go extremely wide. So that's about as wide as you can really get it, but it's really tall. So there's plenty of room if you have a really tall head. If you have a smaller head, I have a medium to large head, and if you have a small head, these may not fit. If you have a really narrow head, these may not fit either. I use them on the first setting, so barely can get my thumbnail in there. And my ear sits basically right in the middle of the driver. The placement of the driver is important, so if you do get these, if you purchase them, make sure that you play around with how high and how tall you get them, because if it's resting on top of your ear, or if it's hanging down on your jawline, or if it's too high up, it will throw the sound off. You will have sounds coming from areas that you really shouldn't, and also you'll lose the seal, and the bass will become bloaty and bloomy, and the treble will become shouty and sharp. So make sure that you get the proper seal and placement. Your ears should be pretty much right in the middle of these big, massive, huge ear pads. I'm pretty sure Dumbo could fit his ears inside of these. They're pretty good size. Do not have any problems with my ears touching the drivers or anything of the sort. There's plenty of room on the inside of these angled pads, and they're extremely comfy. You do get a few accessories inside the box. Yeah, all I have to do is show the cable and say no. Okay, you do get two cables. You get a 10-foot and a 4-foot. Both are made of the same material. Leave them in the box. Get yourself a Periap cable, or if you have a Hifiman HE560, that fabric black cable that it came with would also work. Anything with 3.5s for inputs will work with this. You can run it balanced if you want. So overall, the presentation, the comfort, and the build quality of the Hifiman Ananda is acceptable. I do find that it's a little bit cheap feeling ish. Plastic grill, plastic cups a little bit. Kind of wish that Hifiman had made these feel a little more premium, but they're not bad looking. They're just kind of average looking. Just kind of for the price tag, wish it had a little bit more premium build on it. Now for the sound. Sound wise, I love these things. Close to neutral with very natural sound. So the bass on the Hifiman Ananda is close to linear, and it extends really well down into the sub bass. Does have a slight decline. It's not a roll off, it's not a cliff, it's not a sheer drop or anything like that, but it's a slight decline, and you still get very good sub bass presence, but you're not going to get that rumble, that girthiness, that subwoofer thump that you can get out of some planars. These are not that. What these are very articulate and detailed, clean, clarity all over the place, and extremely fast in resolving, and the detail retrieval is incredible. So sub bass, you will know what it sounds like and where it's at, but you just may not feel it. Mid bass and upper bass have a slight touch of warmth, a little bit of kiss to give it some body, and a little bit of just fullness to it. And but it's not very much over the sub bass. I mean, it's still has all the clarity, all the details, still fast and still articulate, and it's just this is a really good sounding bass. It just doesn't have that factor. Going into the mids do have a slight little recess or a dip to them, and that helps to keep harshness away from them, and you don't have any graininess in them whatsoever. They're very clean, very articulate sounding, very natural sound. They have a really nice air to them, and the presence of the vocal, it feels like the vocalist is in the room with you, and or the instruments are around you. It just has a very nice way of presenting the mids in a very calming, slightly laid back way. And then the treble has a nice climb to it, and then there's a slight dip, 8.5K, 9.5K, 10K-ish area that kind of takes out that area that tends to be a little bit bitey, a little shouty, and a little sharp. And it's a nice touch because it helps these to stay very well controlled and very smooth in the treble. And you have, in my opinion, these are the best treble that I've ever heard. Extremely smooth, very detailed, and this is the perfect treble for me. Doesn't have that sharpness, that shoutiness, and that a lot of headphones have, and I love the treble on the Ananda. Has a nice airiness to it, very good details. Again, the resolution is just pristine, and has good clarity, and makes me want to have more. Just I want to listen to another song. I want to listen to another song. I want to listen to another song. I'm not skipping tracks in my playlist. Very, very smooth, even, close to neutral, and very natural through all of the frequencies. This is probably my favorite headphone as far as being perfect frequency graph for me. And then the Soundstage. Soundstage is got very nice presentation to it, very, very nicely laid out, and does an excellent job with pinpoint accuracy and precision, and you can track things very well. Has excellent separation, isolation of instruments and vocalists, and whatever else is around you on the stage. It's just not the widest. It's not intimate, but it's not super wide, and it's more than average, but it's not spectacular. But what it does really well is layering and depth. You can have things that sound like they're coming from up here, things that sound like they're coming from down here, things that coming from over here, over there, and you can place things really well. And I truly enjoy that. It's a very immersive soundstage that I really like. Just wish it was a little bit wider. So the Hifiman Ananda. It's touted as being fairly easy to drive. It's something like, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Forgot what it was for a moment. It's 25 ohms, 103 decibels of sensitivity. And so Hifiman touts these as being able to be driven off of phones and DAPs. And kinda. They're not the most power hungry planar around, but they do benefit from a little bit of power. They scale a little bit better with more powerful gear. They sounded okay coming off my phone, which is a Samsung Note 10 Plus with various dongles, but I just couldn't get enough out of them. It sounded like they were lackluster, like they were just not quite as alive as they could be. It just I knew that there was more, and they do okay if I was using them at an office, but wouldn't be my favorite setup. Off of my DAPs, they sounded okay. Off of the Hifiman Mega Mini, the Echo Box Explorer, and the Pioneer XDP30R, they sounded the best off of the Pioneer. But again, it just was like, I wish I had a little bit more in the dynamics, a little bit more in the just overall presentation. It just felt like it was lacking a little bit. And so these are a desktop setup can for me. And I love them. Put them with the Grace Design S-Stack balance going into the 789. Got a perfect match for me. I absolutely love that setup. It has the perfect amount of bass, lush mids, smooth treble, and the Geshelli Labs Enog 2 Pro and the 789 also same thing. Just sounds really good. The SMSL SU8 and the 789 sounds really good. The THX 788 powers them just well, and it actually does something even a little bit better. It smooths them out, makes them just slightly a little bit more laid back, and I like that sound also, but I prefer them on the 789. The LCX and CTH are a good match, but they add a little bit of warmth to them, and a little more thickness to them. You get a little bit more bass out of them, but it seems to me I lost a little bit of detail, a little bit of clarity, and I preferred them on the 789 or the 788. So the Hifiman Ananda originally were $1,000, and now they are $700. Are they worth it? Yes, especially at the $700 price tag. I think that is an excellent price point for them, and if I had paid $1,000 for them, I'd probably be okay. But $700 is a whole lot better. I really enjoy these, and Mr. Olinad, I appreciate you sending them over, and I'm so thankful that you did. And I've enjoyed them so much that I'm gonna have to get myself a pair. As much as my wife doesn't want to hear me say that, I think she understands. And yeah, Hifiman Ananda. If you had asked me a month ago what was my favorite headphone, I would have said the Sennheiser HD600. And if you ask me that same question today, I would say these. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next videos, somewhere on the screen is going to be a subscription link and notification bell. If you haven't already, please check those off. Don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, And check out the links down below for the gear that's been listed, and also for PayPal, Patreon, Discord, email, playlists on Deezer and Tidal. Thanks. Have yourself a great day.